big fireball. More fire. More fire.
Here we go, guys. This is episode 45 of the United Forever podcast. This one's titled The Magpie Munched, I think. Or oh, fucking hell. Oh, mate, I've literally just written it down. I can't. Here we go. No, I don't. I fucking lost it again. What a twat. That's why I'm the original Sam Spanner, and I'm with my legendary cousin.
God, Adam Shackham, how are you?
Good, mate. So, there's a rumour going around that you've got your arm bandaged up like Pogba when he had his wank bandage around his arm. Why is that, mate?
Yeah, that is because I've had my first dose of the Rona vaccine. Had that yesterday.
Nice one. Quality.
So, yeah, I've had my first dose, so that's all good.
Well played. Well, it's better in the arm than up the arse, I suppose. So,
well, yes, this is it.
And what about driving? You okay to drive at the minute?
It's it's been a strange one today because yesterday, like, I had some side effects and it would like fuck me up a bit, if I'm honest.
Okay.
No, I felt like I had the flu for a day. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was cold, shivering. I ached, headache. You know, couldn't feel my arm. To be honest with you, I still can't really feel my arm that much, but it's been quite difficult when I've been doing left-hand turns.
Yeah. Mate, I can imagine.
And like lifting heavy boxes has kind of been a pain as well. When the muscle tenses, it's like, oh my god, it feels like ultra cramp. Do you know those ab machines you used to get, and like it tenses your muscles up? It sort of feels like that.
Yeah. My dad used to use those, but I think it gave him bowel spasms and a bit of involuntary bowel movement, so he had to pack it in. He needed
involuntary bowel movements.
Yes, mate.
I had a cracking shit earlier on, just letting you know.
Well played. Keeping up the good form.
It was beautiful.
Mate. Well,
definitely.
Listen, I've got some shout outs prepared for the old for our matey boys. So special shout out to old Boomhauer over in Texas. You know, we're hoping that his state gets out this terrible state, put it that way. But apparently he's got his power back and the internet back, so respect. Another shout out to one of our buddies, his old Sons of Grimnir. He's got a new sponsor, so he's got a special discount going. So basically he's got some kind of sports enhancing. They're legit, you know, proper legal sort of stuff. So some sort of protein and drink stuff going off. So maybe we can tell my brother about that because he loves his sort of, legal sports enhancing stuff. And then he's also released a really interesting video, which is one of the new Footy Manager ones where Man United play Arsenal. So no spoilers there, but give it a watch, mate. It's fucking good. And from our last show's puns, we were doing sort of Valentine's Day, you know, sort of sexual deviant connotations, right? So we had Conor Gallagher, who used to play for... oh, fucking hell. What team did we do? Oh, yeah, West Brom. Fucking brain fart moment there. So this was from Steve, United Steve 79. Instead of Conor Gallagher, he said Con her, gargle her. So, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not got any fucking dodgy rehypnol or any fucking weird shit like that involved. And then we've got shout-outs to the one and only Santa Notch. So he was getting involved.
Yes.
He said,
quality.
Laurie Cunningham. And he respelled Willie Johnson to Willie as in Todger Johnson. And mate, me and my fucking cousin are blind as fucking bats. I cannot believe we missed
Yes,
this
mate.
Santa Notch.
I know.
The
It's horrendous.
Hawthorns. Mate, how could we? Mate, we're special
I don't
needs. I
know.
cannot believe that.
I
Bloody hell.
don't know. When I read the comment, I was like, how did we miss that? That was like the most blatantly obvious one on the planet. It was
I
the
know.
easiest one to have thought of, and we missed it. What's that?
We did, mate. I know.
I just put it down to
Fucking, but
inbred genes.
absolute, mate, totally. I mean, as long as our kids don't mate with each other, mate, because, we don't want any more limbs appearing on our kids. So, no, fucking hell. Right. So, obviously, we've had a very positive week. All right. Some of the football hasn't been fantastic, but in general, mate, we've got to be, we've got to smile because we got, 7 goals in 2 matches. And
Yes.
can you remember the fan base, what it was like under Louis van Gaal and Mourinho? Mate, we couldn't get any goals in, could we?
No, we're lucky to get like a 1-0 or 2-1, something like that. To score multiple goals in a game was unheard of, wasn't it?
I know, fucking Mourinho and his Catenaccio, mate. Score 1 goal and fucking build a fortress, So, yeah, I know. No, but I mean, talking about the old win against Newcastle. So, obviously, their nickname is the Magpies. So, the punnage today, mate, we'll do a bit of, what they call it the other day, ping puns. So, basically, we've got the Magpie nickname for the Newcastle lot. So, we can create some puns which could be related to the bird stuff or to the pie stuff. So, I don't know if you give me one from your end of the world, mate.
Okay, well, I've only got a couple because A, I haven't had time, and B, I forgot up until the last minute. So I've got 2. So my first one is their old school forward that was Faustino Asprilla.
That's right.
His name from now on is Faustino Asprilla.
Quality, mate. Oh, gotta love a good old pasty. Fucking beautiful. Well, I did a bit of a mashup. So, you remember old Kieran Dyer?
Yeah.
So I think he got in a punch-up, didn't he, with old Lee Bowyer? That was quite embarrassing, really.
Yes.
But that was a fucking absolute classic Premier League moment. So, instead of Kieran, I've called him Carrion. And instead of Dyer, I've called him Pyre. So, full-on mixture, mate.
Nice.
So what was the other one you had written down?
My next one is another player from days gone by. I don't know how long ago he played for him, but a bloke called Bobby Moncur. His name from now on will be Bobby Pie Munched.
Oh, mate, that is class. Oh, mate, I can definitely say that I am a pie muncher. In fact, I'm a bit nostalgic, mate. I'm going to say I used to be a pie muncher because I haven't had a fucking pie in ages. I mean, I do like to make a good homemade pork pie, but I just haven't had time to do it. But I miss the good old steak and kid, mate. All that kind of good stuff. So I've got some more, mate. We've got that bold Georgian player who was a striker. I don't know if you remember him back in the late 90s. His name was Timur Ketsbaya. So, do you remember him? Yeah, yes. Well, I've called him Timur Ketsbaya. And for those like Grandad who has an extreme sweet tooth, I bet he'd love a bit of Titus bramble apple pie.
Nice. Right. Well, I've thought of one. Just off the cuff. This one's
Yes,
off the
mate.
cuff now.
Off
Keith
the mouth.
Gillespie
Go for it.
is now right.
Yes.
Is now going to be Keith Gillespie.
Oh, you fucking legend, mate. Oh, I was actually watched an interview with him the other day, right? So he was on old Webby and O'Neill's channel with Wes Brown,
Right.
and saying
Yeah.
how he was part of the old part exchange when we got King Cole, you know? And then
Yes.
apparently after just one season, Fergie wanted to sign him again, but I think he didn't want to play sort of second fiddle or anything because, you know, we were sort of blessed really on the wings. And then,
Yes.
do you remember last year we were fucking linked to this overpriced Newcastle player? Do you remember Longstaff?
Which one, Matty or Sean?
I think it was Sean, wasn't it? Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
his younger brother embarrassed us, so he scored a goal against us. So this one's
Old
taking the
ginger
piss out of
bollocks.
him. So we, well, instead of Matty, we got Pasty Longstaff. So
Nice.
there we go. And then we've got an ex-Bolton player. I think he played for Bolton. It was Kevin Nolan, right?
Yep.
Well, I've called him Kevin Nolham and Cheese Pasty. Sorry, everything's fucking pasty related. Dear, oh
related.
dear. Oh. And then the last one I've got written down, mate. I'm just going to have a swig of the old pintage, mate. Hold on.
Yep.
All right, I've got written down something that's more of a healthy option.
Okay.
There's something called. Well, I'll say the player first. So this French footballer that they used to have, David Ginola, right? Do you remember him?
Yep. Yeah.
So we've got David Granola and Honey Pie.
Yes.
Oh dear.
I like that one.
So,
Excellent.
mate, that was it. So now let's talk about some good shit, mate. So, before we do that, as always, we'll invite the listeners to come up with some magpie puns, anything pie related or anything bird related. Help yourselves.
Yes.
We're up for a laugh. So, matey,
Yes.
we beat the Real Social Dads 4-0. And we beat Newcastle 3-1. So give me some positives, mate. So what we got to tell us?
Right, just going on a tangent quickly, right? You know I'm Football Manager.
Yes, mate.
Right. They obviously don't have the rights to all the like foreign clubs. So Real Sociedad is Real San Sebastian. So I'm guessing that's the location of. Does that make it? Yeah. So
yes,
I always
mate.
get confused. I always want to call them Real San Sebastian rather than Sociedad. Because it's like I just live by Football Manager. But anyway, right, going back to the game. Overall,
yes,
it was a solid game. Excellent to see the caretaker in defence in Eric Bailly.
yes.
He just made the defence solid, really, I thought.
Yeah, he had wobbles to start off with, but I think he had a bit of ring rust, didn't he, to start off with?
Exactly.
But he shook it off.
Yeah.
And he
definitely.
did very
Hendo
well.
played blinder.
Yeah, he did well as well.
Commanded
I
his
completely
area.
agree.
He actually used the full box. He actually come out to the 12-yard line.
Yes.
To actually make collect the ball in the 12-yard box. His distribution was good. He was shouting at people. He was just commanding his area because it is his area. Nice.
Yes, mate.
Um,
Fucking wide boy belch.
old the old McFred combo played well up until obviously Scotty got injured, I believe.
Yeah, he
his
did.
ankle, wasn't it?
I think he was carrying a bit of an injury. It might have been. I'm not too sure, mate.
Yeah, and good to see old the DJ James out and about. Dan James. You know,
Yes.
I'm going to be the
Goal and
first one to
assist.
put my hands up here. You know, I slated the lad end of last season, beginning of this season. But
Yeah, me too.
he's done a few interviews the last few days, and he said that he basically stripped himself back. He went back to the drawing board, was watching a lot of analysis of his game with the data analysis team, and has
Yes.
worked on certain things. And to be honest with you, I think he's going to solve our right hand side problem.
Wow, that
Potentially.
is a big statement. Very
I
interesting.
think
That is
I
optimism,
will
mate.
touch on it. Yeah, definitely. I will touch on it a bit in a little while after you've had your chance to dissect bits and pieces as to why I say that. And to get a 4-0 aggregate and 4 away goals as well. Basically we could play a reserve team on Thursday, and the likelihood of them scoring 5 goals at Old Trafford is, well, normally would be very difficult.
Oh, totally, mate.
Stranger things have happened, but
totally. But I don't think we'll feed a very weakened side.
No. I think some of the fringe players will get a go.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to continue into the Newcastle game, or do you want to have a say on the Europa League game?
I was going to add just a couple of tiny things there, mate. So, I'm very proud of DJ, mate. And I'm going to say this. I completely agree. We did slate him, but it was funny because last week, Joe Smith on the old paddock did make a very amusing comment. He was saying that we, as fans, we are hypocrites. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with being hypocritical, because that's our job. So when players are playing shit, we can give them sort of stick. But if they show, resilience, and then they up their game and stuff and put in a shift, we can give them some praise. So I think that what he said was very, very amusing and very funny. So I think, I sort of stick with what he says there. And the other thing that I thought was very interesting is I was looking forward to seeing us play against their French centre-back called Lenormand, who's translates into English as the Norman, from Normandy. So basically, this guy has been linked with us, and obviously we do get linked with absolutely every centre-back on the planet, but I thought he was shite. And I did sort of send a message to Motti a while back saying that, Sociedad have had a very leaky defence this season, and they haven't been as strong as last season. And I don't think that this lad is anywhere up to sort of our standards, So, I was very happy to see Caretaker next to Slabhead, and I do think this, mate. You've sort of put Slabhead next to a contometer, and I think that when he plays next to the Caretaker, Bowie, for those who've forgotten your sort of nickname for him, he seems like a different player, plays with more confidence, especially when Hendo's behind him. So I think that's a positive. Anyway, mate, let's go on to the old Magpie victory. So tell us what you think, mate.
Okay. My honest opinion, the game was shit.
Yes, mate.
The first half was shit.
Okay.
First half was shit. I know, obviously, Rashford scored. It was a quality goal, whatever way you look at it. The keeper should have.
Mate, that was fucking joygasmic.
But it was, and hats off to the bloke.
It was listen, it was that joygasmic. I've still got like bits of wank tissue stuck under my balls, so I need to sort of get a wet wipe and try and get rid of that.
Salty. Yeah. But
Oh dear.
right, okay. I'm going to go off on. I'm going to go off on a rant now. Right now,
Okay.
for Newcastle's goal,
Yes, mate.
4, if not 5 attempts previous to that, they did the same set piece, a deep cross into our box. What happened
Yes.
every time it connected with a Newcastle player? What also happened? Not one of our players did anything about it.
Okay.
Then comes along the 36th minute, and there was a deep cross coming. It pinged about the box. Maguire should have done better with the clearance. People can say, Adam, you're wrong, because he was headed the ball backwards, but knock it out for
It was
corner.
a bit difficult.
Don't try and don't fuck about with it. Knock it out for corner. End of, right? And then they
If in
go and
doubt,
score.
fucking pang it out.
Yep. Now, also for that goal, there was 5, if not 6 of our players in the box, and all you could see was red shirts. There was no yellow shirts about whatsoever. They were just sitting around, deer in the headlights, kind of what the fuck's going on. No one was controlling the play. No one was organising them. And again, as far as I'm concerned, that comes down to 2 people. The first person being our club captain in Maguire, and the second person being De Gea, because they were in his area. He did not shout at them. He did not direct them. And because of this, they ended up scoring and put us under pressure.
Right.
Up until Dan James went and scored the second goal, and then obviously Bruno scored the third. Again, I was disappointed that we played 2 holding midfielders in Matic and Fred. That doesn't work. You can't have, because they're trying to play the same game. They're basically ghosting each other because that's where they're meant to be. They're doing their job, but they're not doing what the team needs, because they are a holding midfielder. They are basically doing what they are meant to do, but because they are both the same, we might as well have gone out there with 10 players. You see what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, no, I do see what you're saying. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to compatibility. You know, if you've got a person that can sort of cover your deficits, but you can also in turn cover some of their deficits, you're finding sort of the right kind of jigsaw puzzle, perfection sort of stuff. Now, I'm not saying that Bailly and Maguire are the best centre-back partnership in the world. No, but if Bailly can stay fit and he gains momentum, he builds confidence, from your back, which is really important. So at the end of the day, if you've got confidence from your back line, then your forward line plays with more confidence, etc. So I'm going to say that the match wasn't shit. I did enjoy the second half. I thought that it was nice to see sort of Matic. I'm going to give him some praise. I thought he was quite eloquent on the ball, and he was sort of keeping things quite sweet.
Yeah,
and,
don't get me wrong. He did play. He played okay, but when you've got 2 of the same player on, you're basically button heads. You might as well go and headbutt a brick wall, because you're not going to achieve anything.
No, but
and that's the problem.
But I thought his his footwork was very good as well last night, and I thought that Bruno got the assist, I think, but really it was Matic's assist, passed it across to James, and I thought James, he did a fucking good shot, hard and low, makes it difficult for the keeper to sort of get near the ball, and that was brilliant. So DJ, he's on fire. I think he's got 6 goals in his last 9 matches for club and country, which is very good. So Now, I'm going to give a shout out to one of the lads from the Stretford Paddock members sort of fan base. His name's Jacob
Yep.
OC. Now, he does often bring up some interesting debates in the live chats and stuff. And he did tell me and some of the others to not get carried away with Dan James's sort of recent positive form. So I do respect what he's saying. I mean, it's important not to get too giddy, but you know me, mate. I like to sort of jump on that Marty McFly hoverboard and sort of ride the emotions.
Yeah.
So,
well,
oh
quickly
dear.
touching on, what you said a moment ago about Matic and passing the ball through to Dan James and the assist from Fernandez.
Yeah.
Fernandez got a toe poke, but I'm going to say well done to Fernandez solely because he was my captain in my fantasy football team and he got stupid points for that assist as well as a goal. So, right. I think. Did you notice?
Brilliant, mate.
In the first half, we basically didn't play down the right again.
Yeah, I know, but I think that we're such a left.
But there was one point in the match, I can't remember exactly when it was. It might have been around the 16-minute mark, something like
that.
Either Bruno or Matic got the ball in our half and took it over the halfway line on the left-hand side, and Wan-Bissaka was open, and I mean he had acres and acres of space, and they didn't pass it to him. What the fuck? Now, is that because I think it was Bruno didn't pass the ball to him? Is that because Bruno knows full well that he can't attack as well? Or is that because
maybe
of some underlying thing that we don't know about? I just didn't understand it. And Newcastle were very, we have to take. I know we won 3-1, but we have to take our hat off to Steve Bruce with the way he set them up. Because for the first 45 minutes, mate, we didn't have. Well, apart from obviously Rashford's goal, they basically had all their players in the right hand side of their pitch and the left hand side of ours because they knew that's what we were going to do.
Yeah. No, I think obviously in the second half, we saw that Ollie had probably given the squad a bit of a bollocking and said, enough with the snobbery and looking for, Shaw and Rashford and stuff down the left. Use the length of the pitch, the width of the pitch, I meant to say. And then also it's important when you sort of in the change room sort of trying to show support to some of your players, especially James and stuff. Show a bit of faith in the lad and let him have the ball and run at the defenders, which he did. He was getting cropped as well, and he's a fucking little dirty bugger as well, mate. Did you see how he did that really good dirty foul? And Housen says he loves a bit of shithousery.
Yeah.
So
that was
respect to the lad.
And he's so fast as well.
Brilliant.
It's unreal. He's got so much pace behind him. He's got to be our fastest player, I would say. Him and Rashford are up there.
Do you know what? Now, last season, right, according to Optastats, Mason Greenwood got the fastest sprint on the pitch. He actually clocked 37.4 kilometres an hour, which is fucking mental. And I think that was his goal against Sheffield United in the latter part of the season. But that was insane. And do you know who came behind him?
No idea.
This isn't from a static start. It was sort of in motion because you've got two ways of sort of measuring sprints. Where you're in a static position and then you start running, or you've got the other one where it's sort of in motion. You're already running and then you go into full sprint. I think it was actually Fred who clocked the second fastest sprint, mate.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, which is actually fucking brilliant. But either way, I reckon Dan James, if he's not careful, he'll get a fucking speeding ticket and 3 points in his license.
The VAR send him a speeding ticket. But
so the fucking in collab with the DVLA, based in Swansea, as it happens to be.
Exactly. Exactly. But But the thing is,
Sorry, mate. I'm just going to
there's
say
a bit.
something stupid. Hold the phone, mate. Hold
Go
the
for
phone.
it. Yeah.
Fucking random flashback. I remember Dan James had a most fucking hilarious interview. It was a post-match interview in the summer holidays, and
Right.
it was he said something daft like, "Yeah, I really enjoy playing for Cardiff, the capital. No, I really enjoy playing for Wales, the capital of Cardiff, or something." In the,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was
it's
something
there. It's
along
on
those lines.
YouTube, mate.
Yeah.
But
It's
I
it.
think the poor
It's there
lad,
forever.
mate. Every time he gets interviewed, he's improved a bit recently. But the poor kid, when he gets interviewed on camera, he's all smiles to
Yeah.
start off with, and he's like a little boy that's. You can imagine that all of a sudden he'd start to cry. Oh, is it just
But
me
I'm not
being
used to
fucking lunatic?
it.
Seriously, because
Yeah.
obviously
No.
being a teacher now and again, you can sort of make, especially the primary school kids, they do cry now and again if they
Yeah.
feel like they're under the spotlight, and they kind of like getting a
Yeah.
bit paranoid, thinking, "But have I really done something wrong? Was it really that bad?"
Yeah.
And then they're trying to like smile their way out of it, and all of a sudden they start crying. So, dear oh dear.
Brilliant.
Actually, mate, I've got a little bit of
Yeah.
banter from work. So
Okay.
while I'm on this little tangent, right? So
Okay.
the other day, right? So the kids, because over in Spain, the schools haven't closed down like they had in the UK and all that shit. So basically, because of COVID stuff, we've got to make sure the kids are extra clean and whatnot. So when they come back from the playground after break, they're all lining up. And there was this kid the other day that was, for some reason, kids love just taking their shoes off. And there was one kid who had a shoe off. So I thought it'd be funny to sort of steal the shoe with my foot. And then when she came chasing after me, mate, I did a fucking banging Cruyff turn.
Nice.
Fucking nailed it, mate. And then this was on Friday, right? So the queues can be quite big. I mean, they need to have some kind of temporary sinks outside in the playground, these portable ones or something, because it takes about 15 minutes to get all the fucking kids to get their hands washed before they come back in the building. And
Right.
this
Okay.
poor kid, he was sort of shaking. I was like, "What's the problem?" He's like, "Oh, I've got to go through shit." Well, not in those words, but poor kid was dying for a turd. So I said, "Go on, run upstairs." Fucking bombed it, and all of a sudden I heard a scream. It's like, what the fuck was that? So I ran up the stairs, and one of the lads from the bathroom said, "This little kid's nickname's Wally." And he shouts out, "Wally's fallen in the toilet." He wanted to fucking obviously do his shit. He didn't have time to put the toilet seat down, and he fucking sat down on the rim of the toilet and fell in. So, oh dear. So one of the other lads had to pull the kid out. Oh, fucking mess, mate. Dear, oh dear.
Yes.
Fucking hell. Mate.
Love it. Oh.
Oh, gosh.
Brilliant.
All right, before I give the listeners the final bit of good news, do you just tell me about your, if you got any more sort of closing footy stuff to talk about from the past couple of matches, mate?
Yeah. I need to touch on Marshall again. There's been something come out in the press today that's actually been confirmed, but apparently Solskjaer was shouting commands at him off the sideline
Okay.
against Newcastle, and he wasn't taking any notice of him, and that's why he pulled him off on the 70th
Oh,
minute.
dear.
He wasn't following what he was being told. I can't remember exactly what the
Curly
command
finger.
was, but it was something. Yeah. So I'm not exactly
I'll
sure
tell you what
what's going on there.
Now, I'll tell you right now what Solskjaer was saying. He was saying, look over to your right and look at how fucking Dan James is running around. He's been a fucking workhorse, mate. Up and down the pitch,
Yeah,
getting fucking
yeah,
clobbered here, there, and everywhere, and clobbering other players. Now, that's fucking commendable.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree, and I just, it's disappointing to see because of, I'm not sure if I've touched on this in previous episodes, but Paul Scholes hit the nail on the head a while back. He goes, he come out and said something along the lines of Anthony Marshall nearly tricked us into believing he was a quality striker or something like that with the amount of goals he scored last season. He said he nearly fooled us into believing that he was the finished article, and this season has proven that he's not. So, we've touched on it before.
But it's his
He's
love
had his
tank.
nose disjointed with Cavani coming in, but that's not an excuse as far as I'm concerned. And obviously, on the positive side of things, good to see another academy player make their debut yesterday as well.
Yes, mate. Old Shortiro, mate.
Shortiro, yes. He looks so young. I know the boy's only just turned 17, but my God, does he look young.
Yeah, I know. Mate, fucking makes us feel old, but no, respect to Wally for keeping the tradition going.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. And one other thing that I was a bit confused about is why Bailly didn't play, but maybe he was a bit knackered from Thursday. I don't know.
He's got to be eased back into the first team. Now, mate, before we say goodbye and stuff, I'm a happy budgie, mate, because I've got the Stretford Paddock mug that's arrived today, and I've got the flag, and I've got some badges. So
results.
They'll be going up in the basement. So yes, mate,
Quality.
got a little shrine thing going on. Right, mate. Give us some closing words. We've hit minute 37.
I'm not going to be too harsh tonight, so it's just over and out from me, really.
Okie dokie. Well, I'll be speaking to you later, you lower intestine deflator. The new one for the old repertoire. See you later, matey.